Good morning. Welcome to your yoga mat this Monday morning. So starting breathing out, rooting down into the sit bones. And we'll do that a couple of times to really feel a sense of expanse across the pelvis. So you really do feel that base of the spine almost opening outwards. And then with the out breath, sinking downwards to the mat. Let your eyes shut and feel the sense of connection being enhanced with the out breath. And finding, as you touch the rhythm of your breath, a sense that in this breath you are present, and that's all that matters for now. So if there is stuff crowding into your perspective and all the things you may need to do this week, today, after the class, imagine you're breathing some space between yourself now on the mat. Those thoughts circling around you. And with each breath, you can purify this space. Allow your breath to circulate freely within it. And in the wake of the breath, your energy to circulate with freedom within it. So with the next new in-breath comes with a freshness within it. That freshness of first light, sunrise. And we bring palms up and around the body, up above the crown of the head. And then breathing out, we'll let the palms sink downwards, facing downwards, back down again. And if you make that circle with the hands a couple of times or so, using these moments to cleanse, to let your breath wash through you. And open up this space, this yoga space, this inner space, physical space. And then hands sinking down to the belly, and with the in-breath, we'll draw the palms up to the heart, palms facing up. And breathing out, fingertips almost stroking the air as if you're smoothing out your energy field. Any ruffles on the surface of that with the fingertips. And we'll do that a couple of times. Palms to heart. And palms smoothing out. Physical flow within you, the emotional flow within and around you. From here, fingertips touching the earth in front of you, and your eyes can open if they're shut to look down at the hands in contact with earth. Now breathe in and lift up into your spine now, lifting until your chin reaches up into the sky. And you feel a stretch along the back of the spine, all the way up into your skull. And that's echoed in the lift through the front of the body, up into the chest. And your breath is flowing along this shape, the spinal opening for a few moments. And then we're going to flex the spine, curving it around until the chin drops inwards into the throat. And you feel the stretch now across the back of the spine, across the shoulder blades, into the neck. And letting the weight of your body sink into this shape. So in breath, flexing up the spine again, chin rising, chest rising. Lifting all the way up and into the neck, if that's comfortable. And then with the out breath, you're flowing with it into the curve of the spine until the chin drops into the throat. Your next in-breath will arrive, we're flexing up. And with the out-breath, flexing around. So the body breathing with depth, with rhythm. Nice long deep breaths, and your spine is flexing with the rhythm of the breath. Taking the movement all the way up and into the chin, up and into the skull, all the way back down to your sit bones in contact with the floor. We'll do a few more rounds here. Feel your diaphragm drawing the breath in and out of the body. So this breath is a nice, long, rich, resonating Ujjayi breath. We're coming into the last round of this together. Then hands lifting up to the heart. And from the heart, we'll reach the hands up like you're drawing air up and above the body. And once you're there, bringing your left hand down to the shoulder. Opening up that left elbow into a kind of goalpost arm. So you can kind of see the shape here we're creating. Now this shoulder may want to rise up a bit. So we're looking to sink it down so you're opening up and into that left elbow. Almost underneath the shoulder blade. Now, right arm is still stretching up. And then you're moving your hands, quite slow motion here, out the other way. So left hand will reach up as the right arm will draw back, goalpost stance, till you feel the squeeze across the back of the shoulders into your trapezius, shoulder blades. And then both arms will open into a big semicircle. And we're going to flex the wrists out here, like you're carrying something, like a plate, on the palms of the hands. And we're going to stretch then the arms out into the sides, drawing them slightly behind us. We can just shuffle the shoulders down here. Now, as the chest opens, you'll feel a sense of needing to support this lift through your belly. So you're going to draw the belly in, release it outwards. Deep abdominal breathing to support the openness of the chest and engaging your core. Cultivating energy, changing vibration of the body. And then palms slowly turning down. You may feel the weight of the shoulders here as the palms turn down. Shrug up your shoulders, draw them out again, and let the hands sink down to the floor. Deep out breath here through the mouth. Now, right arm's going to stretch up again. Left hand is down on the floor by the side of the body. Make sure you don't lean onto that left hand though. Your spine is still lifting here. So you're having to use the core to find the stretch up the right arm, whilst maintaining balance through the torso, whilst reaching down with the left arm. Now the waist will start to tilt out to the side, and your right hand is drawing up and over body into a side stretch. Long deep breaths to give your body time to stretch, to open, giving your mind space to arrive. And breathing out. Right hand will slowly float down. Now again, gravity will want to take over. So keep the same steady pace of movement. See if you can stop that, urge or impulse to accelerate. Remember, keep the spine lifting up the center line now, rather than tilting onto the right hand. And with our left hand, we're going to stretch up through the left side of the body. So you feel your left hand, your right arm, are stretching away from your center line. The center line, though, the central axis of the spine, is vertical. Crown directly above pelvis. Now start to bring that tilt now into the spine. Left hand now reaching over. Soft right shoulder, keep softening downwards. So all of this is originating through the trunk of the body, working with the central axis of the spine. And left hand coming down. Remember to keep the pace steady as it drops down to the mat. So, we're going to bring our knees together now. Come off your block if you're on one. Oh my, that's a little bit of sunlight on the face. That's a bit better coming back. We'll see how we go. I may shut the curtain in a minute. Right, so coming into a seat with your toes pointing up. Now we'll shrug the shoulders up and back a couple of times. And slide your hands down and up the legs. That's helpful. And a bit like we were doing before, nice strong backs of the legs, toes flexing up. Breathing in, reach forward and draw up into the chest. And take that flex of the spine all the way up into the chin. Always find a little bit of movement of the head from side to side. It's useful because it just takes away any tension out of the jaw. Now come into your spinal flex the opposite way, curving the spine round, drawing inwards. And then another deep in-breath will see you flexing your spine up, all the way up and into the crown of the head. And then out-breath, feeling the curve of the spine inwards. As you flex up, remember to keep space between the tops of the shoulders and your ears. Breathing out, curving around. Another lift up through the spinal column. Remember, keep the shoulders dropping down. This time with your in-breath, we're reaching forward with the spine rather than up. Pause there, align the skull on the top of the neck, draw the shoulders down, and then breathing out with slide hands down the legs, so they're arriving towards the feet. Doesn't matter where they want to come. We breathe in the elbows towards one another, so you feel a bit of squeeze through the backs of the shoulders there. But with your out breath, the arms will open out to the sides. Now another in-breath. We draw the shoulders back together, elbows coming towards one another. Breathing out, the opening of elbows to the sides. Another in-breath. Lift up into the spine as you draw the elbows together, breathing out, folding downwards. One more. Now start to tilt your weight onto the left side. So there's a bit of bend in this left elbow, almost like it's going to float down towards the mat. Now you'll feel a bit of tilt through the body here, almost like your right sit bone is going to lift up a little bit. And it's almost like you might topple over to that left-hand side, but you can stabilize that tilt through the core. Now root down for your right sit bone now, the opposite way. And you're tilting over to the right. Left sit bone will probably lift up a little bit. Quite a small and quite a subtle movement. We'll go over to the left-hand side again. You'll notice how you have to use your core to stop that rolling over onto the side of the body. Come back round again, over to the right side. And then stabilizing back in the center line. Little bit of gentle sway now from side to side. And follow that sway all the way up and along the spine. Almost like your spine is waving through the air. You can just let that wave rock from side to side. And then, keeping that movement, we release the hands so they can start to walk up along the legs until you arrive back and into sitting again. And arriving in sitting, we draw the soles of the feet together. So bringing hands around the tops of the soles of the feet, bringing them over the tops of the toes, interlacing your fingers there. Breathing in, the elbows will draw together as you draw up and into your spine. And breathing out, little bend for your elbows as the spine curves inwards. Another in-breath. Keep releasing down through the thighs, through the sit bones as elbows draw together. The spine will lift up. Breathing out. Nice rolling forwards of the spine. Another in-breath. And into the out-breath. Now with elbows out to the sides, we're now going to take the spine into a circle around the base of the pelvis. So your movement's kind of limited here because you're holding onto the feet. Because the legs are holding the base of the body very steady here. So tuning into the size of your pelvic circle and seeing if you can guide your spine around to the parameters of this circle. Just slow circles. And when you've done a few circles in the one direction, you can take your circles back the opposite way. So excuse me. So we're looking to build up some core awareness here. Because lots of this movement we've done so far is really originating through the core and through the base of the spine, rather than stretching out into limbs or fingertips. And keeping your awareness quite close to the body, within the body. And you're arriving back into your center line. Now sliding the feet and hands up, supporting your knees back together again, and finding your way onto all fours. Now, keeping that core awareness as you arrive on all fours, make sure your fingers are spread wide, hands underneath the shoulders, and your knees are good. The shoulders width, good hips width apart from one another. There's a bit of lift up through the lower spine. Breathe out. And moving from the base of the spine, letting the rest of the spine follow into a big curve of energy round and into the skull. Now starting to flex your spine from the base and letting that ripple up and into the neck and the skull. And then flexing the spine and letting it fold and curve inwards. Another in-breath. Moving along the spine into an arch. Then coming back into the curve. Another in-breath. And we pause here, spine flexing, chin reaching up to the sky, sit bones drawing back, Now support this movement of the spine through your front of the body. So really do now engage the belly a little bit. Feel your chest reaching up. So you're integrating the flow of energy along the back of the body. With that, the front of the body. And then we come into the opposite, mirror image of that. The pelvis will draw inwards, tucking it under. The belly will lift up, support the base of the spine, and the spine will curve round. And you're feeling here that the weight of the skull is hanging between the shoulders. And a few rounds of breath here now, integrating front of the body and the back of the body. Those tucking under. And drawing the knees up, the legs up, keeping a little bend through the knees, till you've got a nice stretch out along through the spine. And you can feel balance here, both hands, both feet. And you may want to see if you can get a little bit more lift up through your sit bones. And we'll anchor some of that lift down the backs of the legs, keeping a little micro bend in the knees, but drawing the energy down and into your heels here. And breathing in, looking forward, and we'll walk the feet up towards the hands. Just a moment to pause in a forward fold, relaxing the shoulders, a bit of bend through the elbows. And then breathing in, we're going to root upwards, lifting up, arms reaching up above the spine. And breathing out, realigning everything to arrive into Tadasana, hands arriving to the heart. So we'll step the feet now hips width apart and taking the arms around the left side of the body, but still seeing if you can keep your pelvis facing forward, so you're twisting through the torso to bring the arms round. Then bringing them the other way, torso still hips still facing forward. We're just going to twist through the torso from side to side. Again, you may want to keep a little micro bend through the knees. We'll just let the arms swing round. And after a few rounds, you can bring the arms to kind of connect to the middle of the body. Almost like you're waking up the energy in the core. By wrapping your arms round either side. And slowly slowing that down. And coming back into a center line. So we'll breathe in, we'll take a big circle up now through the arms. And you can stretch up through the spine. You can even take the spine into a gentle back bend here. And we're going to pause in this full stretch here. And in the pause, you've got time to lift up, space to lift up. See if you can find any curve up along the spine. And then breathing out, we're going to fold down and into forward fold. Now, arriving in forward fold, we're going to come into a standing twist. So left hand to right leg, and the right arm will float up. Right arm is going to cross over to the left leg. Left arm will float up. Left arm floating over again. Do one more round here. And one more. Then arms coming back to the center line. You can just let them swing in between the legs. And slowly, moving very slowly, so you really do feel like you're stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, and keeping that little swing through the arms, start to fold your way back up and into Tadasana. Little bend through the knees again, crossing the arms, breathing in, take them out to each side of the body. Breathing out, we're going to let the arms float down in front of the body. In breath out to the sides, lift up. So move with your breath. Out breath through the mouth. Breathing in, we'll start to reach up through the spine. We'll do one more. This time, as you come up, hands to the sides of the body, and just letting your arms very gently bounce on the air there. Root down into your knees, and keeping that bounce through the arms, we'll sink a little bit lower down and into the feet. Bending your knees as you do so until you feel like you're sitting back on a very comfortable chair. Now palms will turn forwards here. And as they turn forwards, we're now going to squeeze the shoulder blades back towards one another. As far as you can, the arms will naturally follow behind the spine. Keep squeezing into the trapezius. Squeezing shoulder blades together. Now, use your belly muscles here. And feel your breath flowing around the base of the body. Now, I know kind of anatomically your lungs aren't necessarily going to be around the base of the body, around the abdomen, but feel the energy circulating. Feel the whole ebb and flow of your energy as you breathe. It's like a wave-like flow of energy. Palms turn up, breathe in, the whole body will lift up. And breathing out, hands coming down the center line and folding down into forward fold. Going to catch hold of the big toe pads now. So second and third finger come straight down together in between big toe and first toe. And then you can wrap second and third finger around the bottom of your big toe. Your thumb then completes that circle, coming round to the inner edge of the big toe. Now breathe in, draw your elbows towards one another. You feel the jaw over the back of the spine. Breathe out, folding downwards, drawing your spine down into Uttanasana. Another in-breath. Open out your spine, offering it forward, nice L shape here, lifting up through your belly. Soften the neck. And then from here, bringing the hands down, you may need to swivel if you're facing to the side as I was, and we'll step back into down dog. Now a little bit of bend for your knees, and that bend will enable you to lift up through the spine and start to root down into your heels. Chin can tuck into your throat here. Breathe in, and as if you're moving on the crest of a wave, start to draw your spine forward. And that will take your knees down to the mat. Now breathe out, pelvis arriving back to heels. Keep a long stretch out through the spine here. It's almost like you're looking to breathe space between your tips of the fingers and the pelvis, rooting back. Finding your way from here into Cobra. And we'll slide down onto the front of the body. And arriving back down on the mat. So hands now coming underneath the shoulders. Elbows coming underneath the shoulders. Little space between the arms here. Make sure they're not too close together with one another. So you've got space to breathe up and into the chest. And we're riding in Sphinx here. Feet, hips width apart. And relaxing any muscles that you feel tightening through the base of the body. Round the glutes. And then allowing the spine to lift up into this frame that you're creating through the shoulders, the arms, the legs. Now bring some attention down to your belly again. So you can feel the flow of the belly as you breathe. Round the breath. And we'll lower the spine back down to the floor. Hands coming underneath the shoulders again, drawing the elbows back. Breathing in, lift to another cobra. And breathing out, we find our way onto all fours. Now with the in-breath, right arm will float up. Stretch it out in front of you. Use your belly to find that lift through the base of the spine. And breathing out, take the right arm out behind you. Breathe in. Take the right arm forward. Breathe out. Out behind you. This time as the right arm comes forward, the left leg will lift. Breathe in. Stretch from both out. Breathe out. Left knee will come into the chest. Right arm comes out behind you. Breathe in. Open them both out. And enjoying left knee in, right arm out behind you. And we'll do one more round here. Keep the same steady rhythm of breath as you move from one to the other. And then you can plant the right hand down with the left knee. And now you can scoop your spine from side to side. Almost like you're swinging in a hammock from one side to the other. We'll come on to the other side now. You kind of know where we're going with this, but we will start with the left arm first of all. So breathing in the left arm, do use your belly here to stabilize the movement. Breathe out, left arm reaches out behind you. In breath, out in front. Awareness holding at the core, rather than worrying too much about how far you're stretching out or not. So we want the flow of our attention to be focused inside the body, rather than stretching out into the space with the arms. We've done a few rounds here with the left arm. You can then bring the right leg into the equation, so keep the same rhythm. Get ready to move with the left arm, the right leg. Right knee in, so right leg comes in, left arm out behind you. Open them out. Right knee in, left arm out. We'll do one more. And the left hand will come down to the mat. Now from the base of the body, allow it to sway from side to side. And holding your awareness in the base of the body. And just noting how the rest of the spine follows. Just swaying through the pelvis. Coming back to sit on your heels and sliding the hands back up again. We'll take the knees as wide as you'd like to, out to the sides of the mat. Now breathing in, we're going to stretch down through the arms. You may want to put a block underneath the forehead to bring the air up to you. You may be happy just resting the head. It's quite nice to make contact through the forehead with something. Keep your awareness around the base of the body, breathing into the belly as much as you're breathing into the back of the spine. And sliding your arms back in, drawing the knees back inwards, and we'll lie back and onto all fours. So, the awareness is really around this girdle, the mid-girdle, midriff, would you call it? This band of muscles though, down at the base of the body, our core muscles. And so we're keeping all the awareness really down there. So we're moving from this point, rather than our mind getting drawn out into the stretch of arms too much and, all that sensation that happens in the peripheral areas of the body. So just a few breaths to pull your belly in, let it release out as you breathe. It's accentuating this wave-like breathing through the body. Now, anchor points will be the right hand, the right knee, the right leg. And we're going to stretch out the left leg, and then we're rotating the spine and the pelvis, pardon me. So it's more or less left hip stacked on top of the right. Now you can see the left hand's on the ground here. We're using this as a little bit of a prop. Use your core muscles, bring awareness into the belly to stabilize, to lift up the left arm. We're in a version of a side plank. There will be a bit of tremor properly through the body. You can stabilize that through your core. Slowly moving with the breath. Left arm will come back down again, and your left knee will come back down. Now you just release through your pelvis, guiding it from side to side, easing it out into a figure of 8. Letting go of anything, maybe a little bit blocked, letting the next out breath escape very softly through the mouth. Going to come round and do the other side now. So, starting from the base of the body, and again feeling that wave-like rhythm, lifting the pelvis up, allowing it to release. So the end point's really not what we're doing here. Just trying to build some energy, build some stability into the base of the body. It's like we're anchoring awareness in this area. So when we do get distracted or pulled by other influences, when we are feeling that life is stretching us out and away from this our center of gravity, as it were, we still can find our way back to source, back home here. So anchor your left hand, your left knee, left foot, and we lift up the right leg to start with. So you're going to have to use your belly muscles to keep that right leg lifted. Now find a comfortable balance point as you start to rotate your pelvis. So now right hip is stacked on top of the left. Your right hand is still a little prop here. But you can either hold it there, or else you can see what it feels like to bring the weight onto the left arm, the left knee. Work your way through those little tremors of balance, using the belly muscles. Stabilize. Make sure you're not holding tension in the jaw. Another breath or so. Don't worry about how much you're stretching out into this. Just keep holding your core steady. Next round of breath. And slowly, no panic, no rush. Right hand coming back down. Right knee coming back down. And you can again take the pelvis into a little flow from side to side. And we'll move our way through vinyasa, so you'll come back to your heels. And from here, you're going to slide your way into a cobra. And we're riding back into down dog. And from down dog, you'll slowly find your way back and onto all fours. Coming up into kneeling, hands on the tops of the thighs. Breathing in, we'll flex the spine up and open. Breathing out, we'll let the spine curve forwards. Still keep the knees lifted a little bit here. Another in-breath, sliding hands up the thighs into a little back bend. And breathing out. Sliding hands forward into the curve. Riding back on all fours again. And from here, going to do another round coming into the side plank. May want to move into a few cats and cows. And then we're going to anchor left hand down again, left knee. And breathing in, Right leg lifts, anchoring into the core. Right arm lifts. Now that may be quite strong enough here for you. If you want to go into another stage or just have a go here, bend your right knee back. Right hand will reach down towards the outer edge of your right foot. Now again, there'll be all sorts of little tremors of balance. Your gaze can come up towards the ceiling. Use the belly to stabilize the back of the spine. And slowly, slowly, no rush. So even though gravity wants to take the arm and the leg down, you're still controlling through the core as best as one can. And you're riding back and onto all fours. Again, release out whatever movement feels right to you through the base of the body. This is kind of stirring probably quite a lot of things up. So if you feel like you're kind of holding quite a lot of energy within the body, letting your out breath out through the mouth. You want to do that a couple of times. You almost feel the out breath soothing, softening the emotional field, the emotional body. We're going to come on to the other side. Just swivel around again. And arriving back on your all fours. Weight now in the right leg, the right hand. Left leg stretches up. And just coming into the side plank, even if it's with the hand down towards the mat. Keep using your belly muscles. If you want to go to the next stage, we'll bend the left knee back. And you're reaching back towards the outer edge of the left foot. The gaze can come up. So you see, everything's taking you away here from your center of gravity, which is why we're focusing our breath awareness down on the core to hold the mind steady. Find your way back down. Take your time to get there. Resist that rush of gravity. As left hand comes down, left knee follows. And breathing out, one big toe pad on top of the other, sliding back to heels, opening out the knees, sliding the hands back down, and we'll thread the right arm underneath the left, coming down onto the right temple. It's a wide leg child, threading the needle, right hand underneath the left. And come onto the right temple, or you may prefer to keep the forehead facing downwards. Right hand stretches out. Come on to the other side now, left hand underneath right. And again onto the left temple or else forehead straight down. Right hand sliding in, left hand joining it, and walking hands back in, and arriving back into sitting. Once in sitting, we'll slide the legs now around the front of the mat. And we're going to step the right foot over the left leg. And once there, we're going to hug that right knee into the chest. Left arm will take a big circle out and behind you. So we're coming into a twist here. And as we've been doing, we'll anchor both sides of the sit bones downwards. And you can let your attention travel down towards the base of the body. Hugging in the right knee now with the left arm. And the right arm now coming up and over, so coming into the twist on the opposite side. Left leg still stretching out in front of us. And then we'll stretch out the right leg and stepping the left foot over the right leg. So starting by hugging the left knee in with the left arm. The left knee in with the left arm. Right arm coming up and over. And coming into twist this side first. And when you've done a few rounds there, right arm coming over, hugging the left knee, left arm coming out behind you, and arriving into the twist, the other side. And from here, we come back to the center line and we'll stretch out the left leg. A big in-breath, arms floating up. Reach up equally both sides of the body, flexing out into the toes. And breathing out, taking the spine forwards, into forward fold. Now, wherever your mind wants to gravitate, draw some of that attention back and into your core here, in your forward fold. And then finding your way up and into sitting. So we're going to take a few moments in Shavasana now. So we're going to come down onto the spine. You may want to hug your knees in for a moment or so and just do a little rock from one side of the pelvis to the other. And then allowing your feet to drop to the mat. Arms to the sides of the body. And legs stretching out. In a few moments, earthing. Connecting to the earth's field of energy. Feeling ourselves a part of that. Being held by that. feeling our place on earth. And the flow of our breath through this. Another breath or so. And then you want to bring some movement into the body. Bring a little bit of sway through the neck, bit of contact between fingertips and thumbs. And some flexion into the toes. Following your breath, you can bend knees and find your way onto the side of the body. And giving yourself a hug as you lie here. And from here, finding your way up and into a comfortable seat. So all arrive back as we started, taking a seat, hands resting in the lap, and eyes can shut. And with the eyes shut, feeling the slow tide of our breath, leading us through our life, our time on the earth's surface. Feeling its rhythm, its cadence. Setting intention to feel this, to feel the flow of our breath, our life, with those things that really bring happiness, that allow heart to open, ourselves to flourish. Into our hearts, deepest truths. Bringing hands to prayer. And greeting self and other. And closing your practice when you're ready. Thank you.